Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Welcome to lesson 2, Limit Rows Selected, part 2. At the end of this lesson, students should be able to limiting rows with the where clause with comparison condition using like and null conditions, logical conditions using and or and not operators, and take a look at rules of precedence for operators in an expression. If we use equal operator, the value that we want to search for must be the exact same like in the database. But what if we only know portion of value that we want to search for? We need to use like operator. Fortunately, in SQL, the like conditions allows you to select rows that match either characters, dates, or number patterns. Two symbols will be used, which is the percentage and underscore. This is what we call as wildcard characters. The percentage symbol is used to represent any sequence of 0 or more characters, while the underscore symbol is used to represent a single character. Besides that, escape identifier can be used with like operator. You can use it to search for the actual percentage and underscore symbol. Let's take a look at the example. What if we want to find someone that has A in its last name? So basically the previous example that we do is select last name, so select the salary also from employees where last name equals to A. Can we get the answer? Of course not. Why? If you take a look, there's no employee has only A in its last name. Okay. So, if we only know portion of a string, of course we cannot use equal operator. It has to be like operator. But if you want to use like, it has to be with percentage or underscore, the wildcard characters. Percentage denotes the many characters, while underscore is for one character. So now we want to find all employees that has A in its name. So what we can do, before A it can be any characters, after A also it can be any characters. So if we execute this one, then we will get these are all the employees that has A in their last name. So what if I said we want the employee to start with K? How can we start employee that start with K? So means inside this like operator, we use K. Then after K it can be anything. So if we execute this one, we will get these are all the employees that starts their last name with K. Then what if I said find employees that ends their last name with S? So means the end must be S. So means before S it can be any characters. So if you take a look here, then these are all the employees that ends their last name with S. Okay. What if I said we want to find employees that the third character must be M? The third character must be M. Then what can we do? We will do underscore M. Then any characters. So if we execute this one, these are the employees that has M as their third character in their last name. Okay. So what if I said the second last character must be L? Second last character must be L. Means we have L underscore, then before L it can be any characters. So what we can do, this is the last character, L is the second last character. Then if we execute, these are the employees who has L as their second last character in last name. We also can use this like operator with dates. For example, what if I said just now when we would like to find the employees that were hired in 2002, we can use between. For example, between 1st January 2002 and 31st December 2002. So, if you take a look, what is the default date format? DD, MON, YY, YY. So, the 2002 is the part of YY, YY. Means before YY, YY, it can be any characters. So, let's take a look at the example. Hire date, like, it can be any characters, but it must finish with 2002. So if we execute this one, all of the employees that were hired in 2002 will be listed. With like operator, we have the wildcard characters, which are the underscore and also percentage. The underscore represents one character, but sometimes in our email we have the underscore, isn't it? So what if I change one of the employees here to have underscore in their email? So let's try to find all employees that has underscore in their email. Normally this is what we will do, isn't it? Select last name, email from employees, where email like anything underscore anything. What does it mean here? Before underscore any characters, after underscore any characters. But if we execute this one, we get all of the employees and their emails, even though they don't have the underscore in their emails. Why? Because the percentage represents many characters, underscore represents one character, percentage here represents many characters. So it means as long as you have any characters in your email, you will be in the table result. Then, how can we make sure that we want to get the underscore, not the single character here? We need to use the escape identifier. For example here, before underscore it can be many characters. So before underscore here, we add the escape character, or what we can say escape identifier. And you need to specify another one, escape the backslash. Okay, so it means escape the underscore here. This is not one character, this is what we want to find, an underscore. So if we execute this one, we will get only King has the underscore in its email, okay, in his email. If we want to search for null values in our database, we can use isNull. IsNull condition tests for unavailable, unassigned, or unknown data, while isNotNull tests for data that is available in the database. Let's take a look at the example. In our employees table, we can see there are certain employees who have a commission and certain employees who didn't receive any commission. If the employee didn't receive a commission, it will be null here. Then what if I said I want to find all employees that didn't receive any commission? Then what can we do? Select last name, email, commission percentage from employees where commission equals to null. This is what we are going to do normally, isn't it? However, since null is a value that is unknown, unassigned, or unavailable, we cannot use the operator equal here. Normally, if we want to find if something is null, we will use isNull, okay, where commission percentage is null. So if we execute this one, here are all the list of employees who did not receive any commission. But what if I said, who are the employees who receive a commission? If they have a commission, means the commission percentage is not null. Then what can we add here? We just add keyword not. Okay, so this is the logical condition actually. We will take a look more on the logical condition after this. But what you can do is, where commission percentage is not null, means they have a value lah inside the commission percentage. So if you take a look here, these are all the employees who receive a commission. In SQL, it is often desirable to be able to restrict the rows written by a query based on two or more conditions. As the manager of a fast food business, you may need to know the names of your staff who are either cooks or order takers. You don't need or want the entire staff list, you just want a subset of it. Conditional operators such as AND, NOT and OR make these types of requests easy to do. A logical operator combines the result of two or more conditions to produce a single result. A result is written only if the overall result of the condition is true. We have three different logical operators here. AND returns true if both conditions are true, OR returns true if either condition is true, and NOT returns true if the condition is false. Now, let's take a look at the example of logical operators. The first one is AND. So let's say we have more than one condition, then of course we need to use the logical operator. For example here, we want to select employee ID last name, job ID, salary from employees where salary greater than or equal to 10,000 and job ID like MAN. So if we execute this SQL, what we will get here, the job ID of the employees must have MAN and the salary must be greater than 10,000. Okay, greater than 10,000 because we use AND logical operator here, means both conditions must be true for the employees to be in the table result. What if we change this AND to become OR? If you take a look, what does it mean by OR? Either one of the conditions is true, then the employees will be in table result. So of course the result of this OR SQL will be more than the AND just now. So if you take a look here, we have 24 employees. Take a look at King. King doesn't have MAN in its job ID. However, since the salary is greater than 10,000, that's why King can be in table result. One of the conditions is true for King, so that's why King can be in table result. Same goes with Fripp here. If we take a look, Fripp's salary is not greater than or equals to 10,000. But why Fripp can be in table result? Because of the job ID like MAN. Now, let's take a look at the next example regarding NOT operator. For example, let's say we have this SQL. Select last name, job ID from employees where job ID not in IT Proc, ST Clerk, SA Rep. So if we execute this one, as long as your job ID is not inside this in list, then you will be in table result. Take a look here, we have PU Clerk, SH Clerk, SA Man. So as long as it is not this 3, then it will be in table result. We also can use not between and we have not like and so forth. Okay, the example showing about not in. We also have to take a look at is not null. Let's take a look at rules of precedence. These rules of precedence is used to determine which operator will be executed first by Oracle server. The first one is arithmetic operators, followed by concatenation, comparison, is null is not null, like not like, in not in, not between, between, not equal to, not logical condition, and logical condition, and the last one, or logical condition. Let's take a look at logical operators. If we have more than one conditions in our SQL, we can use logical operators. For example, that we have here, we have 3 different conditions. The first one is job ID equals to SA Rep or job ID equals to AD Press and salary greater than 15,000. Based on our precedence rule, Oracle server will execute the AND operator first, followed by OR. Actually, how your Oracle server will process this will be the OR condition, the AND condition here, job ID equals to AD Press and salary greater than 15,000. So these conditions will be executed first by your Oracle server since the AND operator is above the OR inside the precedence rule. How your Oracle server will do it one by one will be select last name, job ID, salary from employees where job ID equals to AD Press and salary greater than 15,000. Then this one will be executed first. So if we execute, the result for this SQL is King AD Press 24,000. Then we have another condition here, SA Rep. How your Oracle server will do it will be select last name, job ID, salary from employees where job ID equals to SA Rep. So we execute this one, then we will get 30 rows. There are 30 employees where the job ID equals to SA Rep. So by right, if you take a look, on the first SQL, we have 1 result. On the second SQL, we have 30 rows of result. Then, what is the condition here? OR. Since the condition is OR, either one is true, it will be in the table result. Either one is true, all the rows will be in table result. So 1 row plus 30 rows. That's why if we execute this one, altogether we get 31 rows of result. Let's take a look at another example. What if we put a parenthesis here? job ID equals to SA rep or job ID equals to AD press. Means all operator will be executed first by your Oracle server. Even though N has higher priority, however, these parentheses will override the order of execution. How your Oracle server will do it will be, select last name job ID salary from employees where job ID equals to SA rep or job ID equals to AD press. If we execute this one, then we will have 31 rows of result. Then from these 31 rows of result, which employee has salary greater than 15,000? Since we use N, both conditions must be true. Based on this one, only King has salary greater than 15,000. Okay, only King has salary greater than 15,000. So that's why if we execute all of these together, the result is only King, AD press 24,000. I hope you get it. So I guess that's all for now. See you again in the next part. Thank you.